Well, what do you think of today's makeup? Let me know in the comment section below, and there's a reason that I'm asking. Just under 3 weeks ago, I shared a recent purchases video on here, and I will have that video linked. In that video, there was a portion where I was wearing this blouse and this makeup look. My hair was styled that day. I'll share with you that today's hair is freshly washed, meaning I washed it this morning. It does have product on it. I let it air dry, and I just took my blow dryer and this little diffuser, and that is all that I used on it. I put a little bit of light hairspray to hold this in place, but that's where we're at. I didn't do anything more to it. So if you've been watching my recent videos where I share my recent purchases, you would know that I filmed those with different looks because basically every time I film, if I have anything sitting over there to film, that's a recent purchase or an empty, I will film it and then I will upload it to that raw footage folder. In fact, when I get done filming this video, I will be doing some clips for both my recent purchases that's coming up on Friday, so watch for that, and also for my empties video that will be coming later this month after the Christmas gift guides, which start next week. So be watching for those. Make sure you're subscribed. Well, in the video that I published a couple of weeks ago where I shared my recent purchases, I had comments, several comments on my makeup look, with my makeup look in the portions where I was wearing the dark teal blouse. So today I decided to apply my makeup from what I could remember, and I was pretty certain exactly what I applied that day. And I'll share with you what's funny is when I uploaded those clips to the raw footage folder, I remember going, ugh, ugh, about my makeup because it's warm tones and I am more of a cool tone person. So you can imagine what a surprise it was to me to have so many comments on my makeup look. I would say that I can't recall a video ever where I got 1 or 2 compliments on my makeup. So evidently what you're seeing is not what I am seeing. Let me read some of those comments and I'll put them up here. Great video, always love these. About 20 minutes in your video where you started to talk about the Sebastian Shaper hairspray, you mentioned you had fresh first day styled hair. That was stunning, by the way, thank you. Your makeup was gorgeous. It was kind of a blue smoky eye with lighter than normal lip concoction. Would you mind sharing what all makeup you used that day? Would love to try and replicate it. Love that. Here's another one. Your skin looks beautiful. I especially like the peachier lip color on your skin tone, which would have only been in that clip because that is the only time I wore this more peachy nude look. Another one, hi Tracy, your makeup look during the travel makeup brush set demonstration looks really nice. Did you do something different? Looks so fresh. Well, the portion of that video where I shared the travel makeup brush container or bag or whatever for travel, which I will have linked by the way, I was wearing this blouse and this makeup look. Let's look at another one. Here's another one. Your whole look at 23-minute mark is gorgeous. The shirt and lip color, chef's kiss, LOL. And then she proceeds to go on about something else. But at the 23-minute mark, this was the look. Good day, Tracy. Thank you for sharing your purchases. You always look lovely, but certain colors in your wardrobe palette are simply chef's kiss perfection. Interesting, chef's kiss again. I've never even heard of that term, by the way. The teal green blouse in your lip color when sharing the Sebastian hairspray. So good. Here's another one. Hi, Tracy. Could you share your lip cocktail with the green blouse? That looks beautiful on you. And there you go. So, wow. Thank you. Thank you. Just so you know, I do read all my comments and I am appreciative. So I decided today, I'm not doing a tutorial because I really wasn't even I pre-planned months out my content, and this wasn't on the radar, and sometimes I will make those changes. Well, with the holiday season coming, we are about 7 weeks away from Christmas, just so you know, but as the holidays approach, I want to encourage you to maybe step it up there a little bit and do something different, maybe with your makeup. Today I am wearing some color. I'm actually wearing like everyone said, a more teal color shadow to my eyelids. Well, when I add color, I go more nude with the lip because we already have color, and you're not used to seeing me go with, I don't know that I would call this a nude lip, but a more peachier lip, which I believe complements the teal better. So while my cheeks and my lips are warm tone today, which is not necessarily a flattering look for me, because teal shades on brown eyes is so flattering, I can get away with it and it still looks good. And you may not like my makeup look today. That is okay. Don't forget that during those clips for that previous video, I was like, so warm tone because I'm so used to seeing me in cool tone colors. And let me share that we get accustomed to how we look. That is why there's some women who are my age that are still tanning in a tanning bed. And I mean, we all know that no, that is very damaging. But what happens is you get so accustomed to seeing how you look that it's very foreign and it's very hard and uncomfortable to see yourself looking a different way. So if you're used to seeing yourself tan, which we know camouflages a lot, if you decided I'm going to stop tanning, it will take you a while to adjust to seeing yourself. You'll actually feel like you look heavier because when we're tanned, we look leaner. So I just wanted to share that analogy. Well, because I rarely ever wear a peach lip and maybe more peachy blush, my eye is not trained to see it. So while you may look at it and think, wow, Tracy, I love your makeup look, because I'm not used to seeing myself like that, it's hard. It would be the same if you changed your hair color to go extremely light without progressively going lighter to get yourself accustomed to it. If you just went all in, it can be shocking and you may have a difficult time transitioning at first. The same applies if you were to go really dark instead of gradually doing it. I kind of like to do things gradual. I've lightened my hair, as you know, and I did it in a more gradual process so that I could acclimate to seeing myself. And I transitioned very well. Well, a couple of things. I'm going to share the makeup that I am wearing. I'm not doing a makeup tutorial. Maybe in the new year, sometime we can do that. You let me know. But unfortunately, this MAC single eyeshadow in Beau Gray was purchased so moons ago, like most of my stuff. And it is a beautiful teal, grayish, but more on the teal side shadow. And this is in a satin finish, which is a very flattering finish for the eyelid within the MAC eyeshadow line. But what I did is I searched for dupes of this exact shade because I could not find this shade anywhere. And some of the dupes that I found were too gray, and I think a lot of it is just typing in the word gray. The search brought up a lot of gray shadows. So I did my homework, and those that I found that were similar in my mind, and of course I'm only looking on the computer, I'm not in person, I linked them. Now some may lean a little darker, or maybe more vibrant of a teal, but if you like this dark teal, which By the way, I will link this blouse. Mine is several years old, but because it is real silk, it is a classic, timeless blouse. There's no in season. It's not anything that would ever be a trend. The blouse is still available, but I will share the price has gone up significantly from what I initially paid for, which would have been back many years ago before I believe even me, I don't know. It's been many years, but I didn't pay, everything's just skyrocketed in price and I didn't pay as much. I still did pay quite a bit because it's real silk. But what I will do is I will have several blouses in different price points that are within this shade so that if you want to recreate this look, you can. And then also I will have linked all the different eyeshadows that I found. So look through them and see what speaks to you. Maybe order a couple in and look at them, see what you think, play with them, swatch them. You don't have to keep everything that you order. I send things back if they don't work. So that's what we're doing there. And then I really only used one other neutral shade of eyeshadow, and anything will work. Any mid-tone brown will work. So you could use your contour palette or any palette that you already have that has a mid-tone, not anything dark. I'm talking just a contour shade, a shade that, this is basically the brush that I used, which is no longer available. Let me grab, do I have a mirror at all? Ooh, a very dirty one. But a little brush like this. I have small eyes, so I select my brushes based on how big my eye socket is, and I have a small one. So I used more of a smaller brush, and I just went into the crease here with this, and then I brought it up and I just kind of smudged it out. And the only place on my eyelid that I used the color is on the initial lid, packed it on here, and then what I did is I used a smaller brush to pack it in on the corners to make it darker. So it may look darker over here, and that's because I just packed in this color tighter than with this. So it's really basically a 2 eyeshadow look, and then your brow bone, which I use a matte white. So any matte white or any matte shadow that is kind of light like that, maybe it's more of a creamy. I like a matte white. Check your palettes, you probably have one. Well, here, this palette right here, look at that, matte white. Okay, so almost all palettes or several palettes will have a matte white, and that's what I used. So that's the look for the eye. For the cheeks, I just have a really hard time going with one cheek color. I will share that I started with this all-time favorite blush of mine by MAC. This is a beautiful shade that I think a warm-toned lady or a cool-toned undertone lady could wear. I mean, I will always have this in my blush arsenal, and this is MAC in Blush Baby. I cannot see what the finish is. I want to say this is more of a satin finish as well. Clearly, it gets a lot of love. Look how much has been used. So I initially started out with the Blush Baby, but I felt like it was leaning a little bit more pinky, so I wanted to really complement the peachy lip. So I went in with, I hope this is still available, Tarte Blissful Amazonian Clay 12-Hour Blush. This is definitely a cool toned. I almost feel like this is more of a spring summer shade, but I love how it just gives a pop of color. So again, I started with the Blush Baby. That was really kind of my initial base shade, but then I topped it to brighten it up a little bit with this Amazonian Clay in Blissful. And definitely a warmer tone shade, but with the peachy lip, I got away with it. So love that. I will have those linked. I have to check the Tarte. I know that the MAC one is always available. And then for my lip, I tried to scale back a little bit and just go with 2 products, which is really a stretch for me. And I went with a drugstore. Well, this is what I wore that day. I know I did. So this lip pencil is maybe $2, maybe $3 at the most. And it is Essence Soft and Precise Lip Pencil in the shade My Mind, which is a peachy pink shade, which complements my lipstick for today, which this is an oldie, but a goodie. Mine is several years old, and this too has gone up in price like everything. So outlined with the lip pencil by Essence, and I filled in my lip. I like to do that for staying power, and then the only thing I topped it with was Tom Ford's Spanish Pink. Some of you probably have this shade. Yeah, you can even tell that I don't even have, like, this is the bullet all the way up. So it's gotten a lot of love. I just haven't visited it in a while. So that is what I am wearing on the lips. So again, everything will be linked. I'll share, my ring if I can find it. This is several years old. My earrings are not new, but I can look for some little mini brushed hoops. These are just brushed hoops. And I'll share my fragrance of the day. I've been wearing Le Labo a lot. I have some samples that I was using up, and I love all three. So I will actually share all three of the Le Labo fragrances that I have been wearing lately. Today I am wearing the Matcha. I also have I think it's Noir 29, and I can't think of the other one, but I will have it listed. So there's 3 that you can look into. Le Labo is a great fragrance line. So let me know in the comment section below what you think of this look. Is this something that you are interested in trying to do yourself and remake, and maybe for the holidays? And if you're wondering what I would wear this blouse with for color, well, let me just share. If you were to scroll my Instagram stories and go way back, you will see pictures of me in this blouse. And I'm pretty sure that I paired this blouse with winter white trousers, which is always my favorite. And then I feel like chocolate brown, which is the color of the season. Brown is the new black, which I'm thrilled about. I love brown. But I would pair this, so winter white, maybe my brown Valentino belt. I have some brown suede booties, so I love picking up the suede. And then I have a beautiful brown vegan leather blazer that you've been seeing me wear a lot of. I would probably top it with that. I'll have all of those pieces linked, and that would be a look that I would absolutely love. So if you're looking for something for Thanksgiving, I think it would be stunning. So yeah, let me know. Would love to hear. Don't forget to check out the video that I did a couple of weeks ago sharing recent purchases where you can see this look. Also my recent empties which show this look. And then come back on Sunday will be my next recent purchases video, and you'll see this look a little bit again in that video. And then we're jumping right into the Christmas gift guide starting next week, which will take us all the way through Thanksgiving. And then I will have an empties video at the end of this month where once again I will be showcasing this look. So thanks for being here, and thank you for all the wonderful compliments on my look in that video. And really honestly, ladies, just all the love that you have been giving me lately, for all the sharing that I have been doing. I have really made a lot of effort on Instagram stories lately just to share some real powerful messages, and of course I always do here as well. So be sure to give this video some love and share it with someone. I would really appreciate it. So all right, have a great day. 7 weeks until Christmas, and Thanksgiving is right around the corner. A lot of great things to come with Tracy Hensel. So have a great day. Take care.